So, were you sad because you did not go to Rhinebeck last weekend? Don't be sad any longer. Last weekend was in Normandy a very beautiful crafting fair. I went there. And if one day you are in Europe and you are feeling you miss out Rhinebeck, you can come to Normandy. So hello everyone, welcome or welcome back to my very small place on the internet where I talk about my knitting life, my knitting adventures and everything related to knitting, what I see, what I like, what I choose and why I choose to do so. My name is Isabelle, I am in Normandy. And today it's going to be a video that is kind of a mashup between two of my series because it's the end of October. We are on the 24th of October. Once again, I'm filming the day before this video needs to be I want this video to be posted. And I hope I will have enough time to edit and everything. So we are at the end of October. And I haven't done any purchases for August and September. So there was no real need to film a yarn by year episode because I had not bought anything. So I bought things this month, and one of the lovely yous has also sent me some yarny presents. So I want to be talking about that. And last weekend, during the Rhinebeck weekend, there was a very beautiful fair here in Normandy. And when I described it to my beloved brother and sister-in-law, they said, so it's 1 year in Caen and 1 year the next year in Rouen, and they alternate. So in 2 years from now, they want to come. It's a crafting fair. It's organized by the Normandy area, and it's a fair to show all the talents we have in Normandy. So it's broader than just wool and fiber crafts or fiber people who sell fiber, wool and everything. So you have all of the kind of crafts that can be there. There was a huge hall just for that. Another huge hall, huge, when I say huge, it's huge, just for food. Of course, we are in France and we are in Normandy, so a huge hall just for food, and a third hall where they were kind of more related to the scientific talents and what the area does good as far as either science or history. There is a big history teams here and archaeology teams, so they had kind of animations and they had games and events for children around all of these subjects, chemistry, physics. So I said archaeology, car, technology, robots and everything. So 3 huge halls for 3 days. And it was just perfect. So if one day you feel you are missing out because going to Rhinebeck is not an option to you, you can come to Normandy, please do. And if that kind of story is of so many interest to you, please stay tuned. So first I'm going to start with what I am wearing. I am wearing my Forest Gem, which is a free pattern by Drops. And this was a project, the second time I had a project with Lena L'Ouest. So this one is their sports weight in Rose des Sables, which is the third natural color I had never been knitting with. So it's a mix between the light and the medium brown type of fleeces that they have from Normandy Ship. And it makes a neutral beige that is more on the rosy side. But you know, here with some kind of ochre or cinnamon or dark orange top, it leans toward a warmer color than a cooler color. So I think it can adjust to whatever you are wearing it with. And this is one of my favorite scarves, which comes, it's so old because I got it, it was a present, I got it when I was in the United States. So that was 34 years ago. And over 34 years ago, because I guess it was maybe the 1 year or 2 years before I came back, so it's at least 35 years old. And it's Hana Emory scarf in silk. And I like very much this scarf because the purple is kind of a cool tone. The ochre or yellow here, dark yellow here is warmer. And this scarf can adjust to a lot of my own outfits. So I've described this vest in last video, I think. And I used the rest of the yarn that they gave me to knit that piece so that they can take pictures and redistribute the pattern to the people who buy their yarn to knit this piece, because they will have some kind of advertising on their website and their shop. So I used the rest of the Rose des Sables. So I used all of it. They had given me 3 balls, I think. I used all of it. I have to check, and I have to modify my Ravelry project, all the ones that I have finished, all my finished objects, to adjust for the yarn quantities I've been using, because I love when people do that. I think it's really helpful when you are trying to decide whether you want to knit a project and if you have enough yarn or how much you need to buy. It's very useful to me to see which quantities other people have used. So I need to update that in my Ravelry project. And I used the rest, all of it, and I had to buy some more, in my Vertices Unite shawl that I'm knitting with the 3 natural colorways from them. We will have a photo shoot at some point and with both knits. So on the Vertices Unite, other than the rest of this project, everything was yarn I bought from them a couple years ago when I first discovered them. And they said it's the first time their 3 natural colors are knit together in one project. So she was very enthusiastic about that. Anyway, my forest jam, because you see there is some sun. Sorry, it's on this side. There is some sun. There has been some sun yesterday, and there will be for the next 2 days. It's a bit colder, but when the sun is in the house gets very warm. So vests are really a practical piece because you can dress them up, you can dress very casually, you can have long sleeve, short sleeves underneath, you can have a jacket on top, and it's not bulking up your sleeves and for your jacket and everything. I think vests have become more and more popular in the last few years, and I really understand why. Okay, so we're going to be starting with what I have bought during the month of October and my Yarn No Buy Year project. Before I talk about the FêNO event, the fair event, it's FêNO, F-E-N-O in Normandy. I will link all the links down below and everything that I think is useful to you, my project pages and yarn websites and everything I talk about, I link down below. Once again, because I really do appreciate when other people do that. So you don't have to look for the links. Sometimes, if it's a very obvious pattern on Ravelry, of course, it's easy to find. But sometimes some websites are not that easy to find. Small producers do not always have a website. You have to track them down on social networks. It's not always easy. So I link everything down below. So I will talk about what I have bought. I will talk about the FêNO event, and I will talk about what I have bought. I will talk about what I have received from one of you. Thank you again. And I will talk about what I have bought at FêNO and also what I intend to buy in the future, because what I received is linked to something I want to buy to knit with, mohair, of course, and what I discovered during the FêNO. So all of these are kind of intertwined and mixed up. They all happened about at the same time. And so I will try to go chronologically, even though it's not very well separated between, the event and what I decided to buy, what I received and everything. So my first purchase of the month, as I said, was another ball of the Rose des Sables in the sports weight. And this one with shipping was 16 euros and 45 cents. I had to pay for shipping because they were supposed to come to FêNO and they had said, okay, we will be there, we will have a booth, we will save a ball of yarn for you and you will buy it then. But at the last moment, they decided they were not coming to the FêNO, so I just ordered the ball. This is all that is left of the Rose des Sables in sports weight. 2 little nuggets, and I had to unravel my swatch, my Vertices Unite swatch. I'm sad because I liked it a lot. I have a picture, fortunately, on my project page. So anyway, I had to unravel my swatch to finish the last, I think I had 2 or 3 rows to be finishing in the last section where I was using Rose des Sables, and this is all that is left. So I will wait at that out. I will wait my vest, I will wait my slipover, and then I will place all the numbers into the project. Anyway, that is all that is left. That's very good because I bought a ball of yarn, I used it all, and that's perfect. It's not going to be piling up or staying in my stash, because my project for my Yarn No by Year is to knit what I have. And knitting what I have means not buying yarn. Unless it's for other people, unless it's to complete a project. It would be completely ridiculous to not finish Vertices Unite with the same yarn I was doing. It would be totally ridiculous. So I'm allowing myself to buy yarn to finish a project. And I'm allowing myself also to buy yarn to go with other yarn from my stash or that people have given me to make a project. So all of my expenses so far have been within these boundaries. I haven't been looking about what I have been spending overall last year. But anyway, as far as this year, I'm going to give you the big numbers, but as far as this year, we are in October, just for myself, I have spent, and just in yarn, that looks a little bit much. But anyway, maybe I will have to correct the numbers. I spent 351 euros and 65 cents in 10 months, so that's 35 euros. No, I think it's the whole yarn. 35 euros per month, so that's not bad. And overall, I have spent so far, it includes other presents, objects and stuff like that, books maybe. I'm not sure I got books this year. Yes, I got books. And, I got my set of Chiagu DPNs to knit socks and, other things, other little stitch markers and row counters and everything for other people and for myself. So the whole number for this year, including everything that I got outside of wool but related to crafting and for other people, is so far 939 euros and 17 cents. So, that's 93 euros and 32 cents per month, and I think last year I was over 100. I have to check. I have to check again, but I think I'm doing well. Anyway, in any case, I really like the way my project is evolving, because that is the most important to me. The most important, I've never been in danger considering the money I was spending. I never spent money I did not have. That's not the question of my project. Is I want to be dealing with my accumulation tendency, and I want to be dealing with my cravings, saying I want this right now. So being able to do it with my craft shows me I can do it maybe with my food too, even though for now I'm not at all trying to take any action in this department of my life, because I think it's more important I heal myself, I heal my hip and everything, and I build muscle again and everything, rather than, addressing my food situation. So for now, my craft situation and my spending and the way I spend my money, not necessarily the amount I'm spending, but the way I spend it, has been craving free, has been impulse buying free for the whole year, and even more, I would say maybe also a bit of last year. So I'm very, very happy with that. I have some strategies I have developed over the years. I will maybe do a recap video for the whole year, or one for what the rules I'm going to be applying to myself for the next year, rules or guidelines. And I will talk about everything there specifically. But I really enjoy what I have been doing thus far, and I'm quite happy where I am. And kids are playing, I guess it's my neighbors, grandkids who are playing in the garden. It's better, I think I prefer to hear kids playing outside rather than like yesterday. This is also why I did not film yesterday, when I had not enough time. And another neighbor was having big yard work done and big trees, cut for the winter and everything. And it was extremely loud and obnoxious kind of sound, all the engine sounds. So kids playing around, if you hear them, I hope they do not disturb you too much, because I kind of enjoy this type of outside noise. Anyway, so I'm continuing with my yarn of the year, because I was saying yarn is a sneaky beast. Even if I decide I'm not going to buy yarn, or I'm going to be controlling what I buy, yarn finds its way to me. It always does. This is also one thing my project has taught me. Yarn finds its way to me. So one of the lovely yous, have sent me yarn that I received a week ago, something like that. And of course it's Nutiden. And maybe you do remember when Amanita, this beautiful red, and I was so surprised by this red, because my relationship with Nutiden is very complex. I kind of not like their business model. I'm going to be honest with you. Having to be part of the Patreon to be able to buy the thing, it's just something I don't want to be doing. On the other hand, it secures what they are producing, and it secures they will be able to sell what they are producing. It makes a whole family live, and it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful yarn that is really up to its hype. Some yarns maybe not. This one is. Honestly, this one is. And they have a whole process, an organic process. They are very respectful of the environment, the animal, the people who work there, and everything. So there is good and bad, and so far I haven't been part of their Patreon. Of course, I know that at some point they do sell online what the Patreon have not bought. And also, as in my no-buy project, my decision is only to buy yarn in person, not ordering yarn. Except, for that, I was supposed to meet them. They are local to me. I could not justify to be driving over an hour one way just to get one ball of yarn, which is 13 euros, I think, per ball. It was better for me to have it shipped to me and finish at least this part for my shawl. But my no-buy here implies that I have decided I was going to buy yarn in person only when I buy it for myself. And one exception has been this year. I bought yarn to knit socks for my sons, but there is no one around me who does sell that. And they had asked for socks. So I did buy yarn online after the ladies from the other place I go, which is Atelier Pure Laine, have recommended me some brands. Anyway, you said, the card is just in front of me, that you scored the whole internet, the whole world internet, to find Amanita, which was from last year. Last year is on this side for you, which was from last year. And I had been mesmerized by this color. One, because I have not been seeing, even though they have been doing very intense colorways. They are more subdued, more in the nature type of things. Of course, there is that very bright blue that you also gave to me to knit my gallant, which is very, very bright and looks to me like, the Mediterranean Sea. But this very, very, very bright red in Amanita was something I was not expecting, and I was mesmerized by it. People have knit sweaters and dresses and stuff like that, and I've always been drooling over this color. So you found 2 plates of Amanita that I'm going to be showing you right now. How beautiful is that? How perfectly beautiful is that? This red is just incredible. Incredible. I'm not sure between my camera and your screen, I'm not sure how the red is going to be, but it's absolutely mesmerizing. So you said you may have enough for a vest or something. And as I enjoyed so much knitting Nutiden with mohair in my gallant, I decided I was going to get some mohair to go with the Nutiden. And here comes some of the FêNO story. I'm not sure. I was not a very good YouTuber because I did not take many pictures. I did not record many videos. And I will see if I'm going to be talking about it really on its own, or if I'm just going to be scattering pictures and video here and there. Anyway, so Ramses wants to come, and I'm not sure what he wants to be doing. Anyway, so I decided I was going to get some mohair, and I had thought maybe I can contact the lady who is having a mohair farm not very far from my mother's, and I can go there when I go see her for Christmas. So I was just trying to be thinking. And in FêNO, in the booth from the Normandy wool, there was a huge booth with the Normandy wool, and the ladies from Laine sous les Pommiers. And I bought another cone for one of you because my package has been lost. I sent a package over to Australia and it has been lost. So I need to get some other things to put with it, and I got another cone for you. Anyway, at the Normandy wool booth were several people. There were someone who's weaving Normandy wool, and the one from Laine sous les Pommiers. There was another yarn producer. He was not there. There were just a few skeins. So I did not pay too much attention because I'm going to be talking about what was happening at the time. But anyway, there was a lady from Cotentin, once again, who has a mohair farm. There is a mohair farm within an hour drive from me. Okay, perfect. So, and my post-surgery brain completely lost it. I said, okay, I'm going to get some mohair to knit with Amanita. And I got this very beautiful red from Mohair de France, so which is the same kind of project that the lady from Poitou is doing. Here is the label, Mohair de France. And this color, and I'm going to tell you the story, this color is 874. I think they are matching perfectly. And my post-surgery brain was, okay, when I use 3 plates, almost 3 plates of the blue Nutiden, I use a bit over 3 balls of mohair. I have 2 plates. We'll see, I get 2 balls. Right? And then if I need more, I can always get more. Right? The Lang mohair that you gave me to pair with the blue Nutiden is almost 400 meters per 20 or 25 grams, anyway, per ball. It's a small weight ball. This one is also 25 grams, but it's 112 meters. So it's a much thicker mohair. I know it because I've knit my dusking with it and I've knit other things. I know it. I got only 2 balls. 2 balls is not going to be even going halfway through 1 plate. And I realized that maybe 2 or 3 days after, because I kind of looked at the label to see the dye lot, and I was thinking I would write to the producer to say, okay, please, maybe save a ball for me or something. And I was thinking it's not 1 ball that I need, but it's probably 8. So I called her and I said, I'm a foolish one. I'm a foolish woman. I don't know my calculations. Do you have enough of this colorway? And she said, this colorway is not the colorway for this year. It was last summer's colorway. And these were the only 2 1 balls she had. So she said, I can have more, but it's not going to be the same colorway. So as I have other Nutiden, I had ordered another colorway that she had not with her. So I had paid for everything. So she's going to be reimbursing, or she will subtract what I have already paid with my new order. Anyway, so we scored up and down her colorways. She has cards with colorways where she can get mohair. And the way mohair from Mohair de France is working is that I've already talked about that when I talk about my visit to the farm in the Poitou. They collect, so they shear the goats. I'm not sure they do say shear. Anyway, they collect the fleeces. They triage the yarn between very fine, that is going to be doing kid mohair like this one, and silk mohair, to, I think there are 5 grades or something, to up to the coarser one that goes into pillows or covers and stuff like that. So they weigh out, each time they ship out their yarn, they weigh out how much of each grade they have. They ship it out to a central place, so it's a cooperative. The company belongs to everyone. And they ship out to a central place where everyone ship out their own yarn, and it gets washed and carded and spinned and dyed and everything. All of the fleeces from everyone together according to each grade, and each producer can get back the amount of each grade that they have sent out. So there is one way, all the colorways, these are one shot. Every couple times a year when they do dye everything, there is a huge batch of each colorway, but each colorway is only a one shot because they can't assure they are reproducing it every time. So of course there is always blue and red and yellow and all of the colors, but it's not exactly the same batch. So we went up and down her color schemes to decide which one I was going to be buying to go with Amanita. So we settled down, I'm not sure I recall the name. So we settled down on a colorway that is called Griotte, if my memory serves me right. It's a very dark red, and what she said is that on the paper it looks much darker than what she knows of this colorway because she already had in the past, and she said it will match Amanita perfectly. So I just said, okay, I trust you. We order Griotte to go with Amanita, and enough balls to go with Amanita. So I think it's 8. And it's a bit over 8, or I need 8 something and I got 9 or something like that. Anyway, she won't have them before December. So I will show them to you once I receive them. And of course, she will subtract what I have already paid for the ones that one I did not get and 2 that I may return, or I may just keep it and decide. I have 2 of them. I may just keep it and decide I'm going to do something else with it. So this is Amanita. And as if it was not enough, you decided to get another colorway for me. And this other colorway is IRR, I guess, And is also a very beautiful red, but a red that has more raspberry into it. It is more on the very deep raspberry puree side of colorways than red. If I put the 2 of them together next to them, you see that this is Amanita. So this one is smaller. It's the same plate, but this one was packed in a bag. So you see that is a bit more raspberry, a bit more pink than Amanita, which is a bit more a very vibrant red. And is a very vibrant color. If you look at it on its own, a very vibrant red too that has more raspberry. If I put the red next to it, you can see the difference. You see, the mohair is a very true red, and you see more raspberry onto it. So she said, I know. So I sent her pictures. We made a video in the sun so that you can see exactly the colorway. So she said to go with this one, she recommends, I'm going to get my picture. I'm so sorry. It's Griotte. The one that is going to be going with this one is Griotte. The one that will be going with Amanita is Grenade. So Grenade is a fruit. I'm not sure I recall the English name of it, and it's a fruit from Southern Europe. You don't grow Grenade in France, mostly in Spain and other countries from Southern Europe or North Africa. And so Griotte is going to go with that one. And she said Griotte has more pink and raspberry tones into it than grenade, which is more of a true red. I'm trusting her. I ordered, so to have the equivalent of 3 plates with, which is 1,500 meters, which is plenty for a sweater, because I will show you what I have left from my gallant, and I had 3 plates. I think I got 13 or 14 balls of mohair. Anyway, I got enough. And each ball of mohair is 10 euros. So it's going to be over 200 euros that will go into my No Buy Here project. I am so happy to be buying this mohair, which is a very good quality, and having some kind of local to me producer working, and I may, you know, send out what is left or whatever. And I'm very happy I'm doing that. My birthday is upcoming next month, so this is going to be part of my birthday present. I decided, and I'm going to show you what is left of the 3 plates of the blue Nutiden Val and the mohair after I've finished my gallant. Okay, so this is what is left of the mohair and the Nutiden after I finished gallant, which is kind of an oversized and long-sleeved sweater. I thought I would have enough to make some kind of color work into another sweater. I don't think so. So I just may need some kind of little scarf, or it may be just enough for half a scarf and I do the other half in another colorway. I'll see what I'm going to be doing, but I don't think I have enough for color work. I will have to wait it out, because with Nutiden you can always be surprised. And I had several ideas to do a color work with the blue, what remains of the blue Nutiden, and you know, I may just have to make some calculations and see if it would be enough, and if it's not enough, if I can mix it with some other ones. Anyway, we'll see. So this is all that is left of 3 plates. I have to wait it out, and I may just wait it out and write here what is left and how much I used in the gallant. So 3 plates, and the equivalent of the yardage for in mohair equivalent of 3 plates is way enough to make a sweater. So is going to be a sweater of some kind, and Amanita is going to be most probably going to be a vest. So I think this video is going to be already long enough, and I'm going to link down below a Ravelry bundle where I am collecting ideas and things I've seen to be making with these 2 ones. So I just called it Nutiden. I will link it down below if you want to go and have a look at what I have seen already to be making with these 2 ones. So just keep in mind, sweaters for her and sleepovers or vests for Amanita. I can always do short-sleeved sweater with Amanita. I think I have enough for a short-sleeved sweater. So I met the woman from the mohair farm in FêNO, and after that we had a long conversation on the phone to decide what I was going to be buying to match my Nutiden, and she is really, really nice. I want to go see her. And when we were in FêNO, this is also why I will place videos and pictures. I haven't recorded much. I haven't taken many pictures. I will also link down below the FêNO site, the website, so that you can have a look for yourself. The ladies from the Normandy wool, so her, Lensoulet Pommier, the ladies who's weaving and everything, they decided to have on the Friday afternoon and the Saturday afternoon. And first I was going to go there only once, but I went for the 2 days. The Sunday, the FêNO was also going, but I did not go because we had our regular knitting cafe event that happens twice a month in the theater where we meet. And so these 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, were so jam-packed with talking and people and noise. I was completely drained because I've been very quiet in my house and on the recovery path and everything. These 3 days were incredibly jam-packed with noise and stimulations. I was drained. So anyway, on the Friday afternoon, they had offered to host some kind of an eating cafe in their booth or right next to the booth. And so they decided to do it on the Saturday too, because I had spread the word and people had said, but on Friday I'm working. So they also decided to do it on the Saturday. So I went there twice. And we were sitting and knitting with anyone who wanted to be coming and sit and knit with us. We met several people who are joining us to our Sunday afternoon knitting cafe event. One person, hello Bethany, I'm not sure, she doesn't even know I'm filming, but I'm making YouTube video. But anyway, one person who has come to settle in the area, and she's from San Francisco. So, and she came on the Sunday afternoon to knit with us in the Café des Images. So two very full afternoon and very pleasant. I did knit the cuff on my second sock and maybe a couple rows. And on the Sunday, I started the flap. 2 afternoons to make the cuff, which is 24 rows or something like that. That tells you how much I was talking and talking and talking. I was completely drained out at the end of the day. I decided I was going to come the next day, and I was also coming to the knitting cafe on the Sunday afternoon. So on the first day, someone came and pick me up, and we went together. On the second day, as I had clearance from my surgeon to be driving, I drove my car to the university where I can park, and there is a tram and bus stop right there next to where I park. So I took the bus to go to the event, and one of the person who were there knitting with us said, no, I'm going to take you back to your car afterwards. So we went back to the car. I went back to my car that way. And the next day, someone came to pick me up and bring me to the knitting cafe, even though I was saying, no, I can drive. And she said, no, I'm coming to pick you up. So that was a very full day. Lots of talking, lots of knitting for other people, and lots of explaining and trying to have people buy the yarn on the booth, showing what we were doing and everything. It was a very perfect weekend. On Monday, I was totally shut down. I woke up, I went for a little walk, and that was it. I did knit, but that was it. I was completely drained out. But I was very, very, very happy. So, yeah, these were 2 nice days. Maybe place that event on your radar. It's happening every day. The sponsorship is the area, so entrance is free, parking is free. Of course, if you buy something, you do buy that, but I did make several Christmas presents there from local producers from Normandy, and I know people are going to be very happy with what I got. I love that, and not everything was calling my attention. There were people making hats. Some of these were very extravagant hats, bags, clothing, pottery, jewelry, cutlery, lights, lamps and stuff like that. Many other things I do not even recall. And as far as food, we did eat there. I did eat there the two lunches. I went there to eat. If that tells you something. I bought coffee and I discovered a local coffee. How do you say that? Brewery or something? Of course, the coffee is not from Normandy. We don't grow coffee as we don't grow tea. But some people are brewing the coffee, or not brewing. It's not brewing. They receive the grains and then they heat it so that it gets. I will find the word. It's not coming to me right now. They roast it in some way. I guess it's roasting, but the roasting part is very tricky. So even if you have excellent coffee beans and you don't roast it the perfect way, your coffee is not going to be good. So I got coffee from Asia because I never knew Asia was growing coffee, even though, if you think of it, it's the perfect climate and everything. So it's from Indonesia. And I got coffee for my brother-in-law, and they also have mostly coffee from South America and Africa, but they do mix some of them in their own blend. All of them are Arabicas. They make their own blend to have some kind of equilibrium between strength and taste and flavor and all the flavor notes and everything. So I also got that one. And they are in the big city next to me. So it's very convenient now. I know where to get very good coffee. There were pastries, bread, of course, deli and other kind of meat. There were food trucks for the lunches that were outside, and it was raining and raining and raining. And on the second day, there were so many people inside. I was on my rain gear. So I said, okay, I'm going to be fine. I'm not going to be wet. I go eat outside because there were too many people inside. So I sat there were tables and chairs and stuff that were all wet. I sat there and I ate outside in the rain. But I was not wet. And I think one day I had this one and the other day, what did I wear? I don't recall what I was wearing the next day. But anyway, I had wool and my raincoat and everything, so I was perfectly fine. And at least it was a bit more quiet. A bit more quiet. Okay, so I guess that's going to be it for today. You've seen all the yarn that came to my life. I've talked about FêNO, and I hope you pinpoint that event for next year, which will be in Rouen. There was also a couple of weeks ago the Knit It. I did not talk about it at all because at first I wanted to go because now I knew from last year one of my sons were going to be in Lyon, but then with the surgery and everything I could not go. One of my knitting buddies from the Sunday Knitting Afternoon Cafe went there. She could not make it last Sunday to come with us, but she got yarn for me, yarn from a small producer from the center of France, and natural yarn and everything. So she got 2 skeins. I think she said fingering weight. So I have enough for a vest of some kind. I will be paying for the yarn, of course, and I need to take that into account into my no-buy year. But yes, if you are ever in Normandy around Rhinebeck, there is one place for you to come. And we will meet, and we will eat together, and we will knit together. Anyway, in the meantime, I thank you so much for your generosity, for your presence in the comments. It is so helpful. I have taken decisions for myself concerning the recovery and post-surgery based on things you've recommended me and that work. The arnica cream works very well, for example. And I thank you so much for your presence, for being here with me, for being in my life, for liking, commenting, subscribing, doing all the YouTube goodness to this very little channel that I want we keep very small. And once again, you know what? I haven't been talking about the magical that I've set up. Anyway, that's not important. Next month is my birthday, so I think I will make a special video about the magical that is going to go up to the end of November. And then I'll draw someone from, I think, mostly the Ravelry threads that I'm going to be linking down below once again, so that you can add your own project and see all the little guidelines more than rules for this little cal. And yes, I thank you a lot for being here with me, for being part of my life. You are part of my life. And now I can dedicate some of my little stitches to you. I know some of you are going through difficult phases, difficult events into your life, and I will be thinking of you, I will be knitting for you, and I will be sending out my little stitches over to you, because it is important we do place joy and happiness into our lives. And knitting is contributing to that. It's a way to place joy and happiness. When you knit, even if it's only one row per day, when you knit, if you consciously, mindfully place joy and happiness into your knitting, it's gonna be building a bit in your own day, in your own life. And if you can't do it for yourself, do it for other people. Think of other people and send out your little stitches to them. And yes, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Top. And so what was I talking about? I have to listen to what I've been recording. I don't record what I was talking about. Dear. Okay. I found again where was my train of thought. Okay, I got interrupted twice. It's you won't see it, and my lady cat is coming back, so I'm gonna start again. I hope this one is the good one. You may hear my cats eating in the background. Griotte is some kind of a cherry in France, not the ones you really eat. You can eat them, but they are a bit more sour. They usually are used to be placed into very strong alcohol to make, fruit in alcohol for desserts or pastries or stuff like that, or that you can just drink the thing and eat the one cherry in very, very, very small glasses. Anyway.